Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigam Bhavamake Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashunvanno Dibit Siddhasadanam Mahaganapataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vajabharvajinivati Dhinam Vitriyavatu Vagdevyai Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddhajnanaikamurtaye Nirmalayah Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmaswarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme tayo sritva Pranamami Mugurmuguhu Namah Shri Yati Rajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharini Virime Guru Purvam Padavakya Pramanataha Vyakhyata Sarva Vedantaha Tanityam Pranatosmiham Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutra Bhashya Krito Vande Bhagavantav Punah Punah Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Yastu Vijnanavan Bhavati Samanaskaha Sada Shuchihi Satu Tatpadamapnoti Yasmat Bhuyo Na Jayate. Vijnana Sarathiyastu Manah Pragrahava Naraha Sodhana Paramapnoti Tadvishnoho Paramam Padam. This Upanishad Vakyam is the Pramanam for requirement of a quality mind to gain the spiritual knowledge about oneself. The Upanishad says, Manasai Vedam Aptavyam Neha Nanasti Kinchana. Through mind alone, this knowledge can be gained. Some people say intellectual knowledge. Knowledge belongs to intellect only. Knowledge doesn't belong to nose or ears or hair or skin. Knowledge always belongs to intellect only. So, manasa eva idam aptavyam. What type of manasa? What type of mind? A mind which has viveka, vairagya, shamadhi, shatka, sampattihi and mumukshutva. A mind which has discriminatory power. A mind which can resolve. And a mind which has 6 types of traits like tranquility, like sensory control. Then a mind which has steadfast towards the spiritual goal for the whole life is the required mind for gaining spiritual knowledge. In that process, we are discussing about the Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi. Without Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi, it will be very difficult for the person to grasp the teaching itself. He may be a Vairagi, he may be a Viveki also. Vivekam and Vairagyam helps a person to say no to sensory world. They help to say no to those things which will distract him from the spiritual goal. But to persuade that spiritual goal, which is in the form of gaining knowledge, depends upon totally this Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti. So I say I don't want these things. Mumukshutva means I say I want these things. But how to get it? Who is going to get it? Mind alone has to get it, and the qualified mind should get it. That qualification is called Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti. Shamaha Adi. Adi Padat, another 5 traits. So first trait is Shamaha. Shamaha means control over the thought process. Viveka helps a person to know what are the defects in the sensory pursuits. Vairagyam helps a person to say no to those sensory pursuits. These things happens in intellect, that is called buddhi. The inner instrument antakaranam has 4 types of functions. First thing, it identifies with this body-mind complex. That is one type of function which is called ahankara. Second one is, it keeps all the past data, vasanas, likes and dislikes, ragadveshas, kamakrodhas, all types of vasanas gained in the previous janmas. That is called chitta, data house, memory. The third one is emotional aspect, which is governed by this vasanas data. The fourth one is intellectual aspect, IQ they call it. Emotional aspect is called EQ, emotional quotient. This is intellectual aspect, fourth one, which may not be activated in majority of the humanity. As long as this intellectual aspect is not activated, that is Viveka Shakti is not activated, the person is called a Prakritaha. Prakriti Vasham Gataha Prakriti. Ordinary person. All his likes and dislikes will be what? According to his vasanas. That's why from childhood onwards, children, we come to see that children say no to certain things, yes to certain things. It is their Prakriti. They have brought that, vasanas. But whether the vasanas are right or wrong, can be perpetuated or can be destroyed. Who will decide? This Viveka Shakti, which is enlightened by these scriptures. That enlightening process alone is called Upavita Grahan. So at the age of 6 or 7, up to the age of 10 or 11, the person is allowed to take this Diksha, that I will not go hereafter according to my whims and fancies or vasanas, I will go by scriptural commandments. That Diksha is with regard to Dharma Jnanam and Dharma Achara. Understand? That Diksha, that Upavita Grahanam, Sandhya Vandanam and Gayatri Grahanam, Gurukula Vasa they call it, is about the Dharma Adharma Viveka, which will help him to follow Dharma. And after following all these Dharma and duties and responsibilities, a person come to know Pariksha Lokan, Karma Chitan, Brahmano Nirveda Maya. You got the point? So this Viveka Shakti is not with regard to Dharma and Adharma. This Viveka Shakti is with regard to Nityam and Anityam. So what is Anityam? You know that because of his life experience. Sarvam Anityam. Anityam Asukam Lokam. Through his life experience, either in this Janma or in the previous Janma. So having gained this Viveka Shakti, he says no to Anityam. That is called Vairagya. But after telling no to Anityam also, there is a possibility to fall back. Because of the pull of the vasanas which are stored in our chitta. How to handle that fallback is told in the Shama. So Shamaha means mastery over the thought process. He has fixed his thought process that I will pursue only in Nityavasti. I will pursue only Nityavasti in my life. He has fixed. But after fixing also, there is a possibility of falling back to vasanas. He knows that. Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkayonaya evate. He knows all the bhogas, enjoyments which are born out of samsparshaja, the contact between the sensory object and senses, dukkayonaya. It is a source of dukkha alone. He knows that. He is very much convinced. But after that also, because Vishaya Vinivartante Niraharasya Dehinaha Rasavarjam is there. The Varjam is there. Bhagavan Sri Ram Krishna used to say about this through a small example. You have emptied the garlic from the garlic bottle, but still the stink of the garlic remains. You have emptied the garlic. Through Vairagya, you have emptied, you have thrown away the garlic, but still there is a stink of the garlic. So how to overcome this stink is dealt here in the form of Shamaha. Mastery over the thoughts, mastery over the emotional mind. So here the buddhi is going to put its power on emotional portion of the mind. That is called willpower. The buddhi's power is called willpower. I have willed already. I have decided already. You have to obey me. Because there is a dichotomy in our human mind. We decide one thing and we do another thing. Since doctor told that you have to get up early in the morning and go for walk, because you have become sugar factory. So he decides to get up and puts alarm also. But when alarm rings, another mind says, another personality of the same person says, little more, dil mange more. Mind wants more sleep. So there is a snooze factor. The snooze factor should be destroyed in our life. That is dealt in the form of Shamaha. So the definition for Shamaha is given in the Viveka Chudamani, Bhagavan Shankaracharya's Vedantic text called Viveka Chudamani. He says, Virajya Vishaya Vrata Dosha Drishtya Muhur Muhuhu Swalakshyam Niyatavastha Manasaha Shamaha Uchyate. Shamaha iti uchyate. Manasaha shamaha iti uchyate. This is called the mastery over the mind. What is? Vishayavratad vrajya. There are multitudes of Vishayas. Because already senses are acquainted with all the sensory objects and mind is full of those ideas, past experiences, either in this Janma or in the previous Janma. So they will carry you thought process. Understand? So our Acharya used to say, 5 things will carry our thought process, daily thought process. First thing is body, requirement of body. Then emotional requirements, psychological requirements. Then professional requirements, career. So it starts with LKG onwards. Then possession, management of possession, acquirement of possession. And then position. 5 things. Body, mind, profession, possession, position. Suppose a brahmachari says, what they will think if I don't marry? A bachelor says, what they will think? You are bachelor, they will say. Carried over by the idea of others' opinion about his position. So they think of me as poor. So I have to overcome that. This idea is about the possession. They think I am an idiot, I am good for nothing. I have to develop my career. I have to prove in my profession. Like that. These thoughts are about the profession. And of course, the thoughts about the body and emotional needs, you all know. So our daily routine, 24 hours, out of that 8 hours gone in sleep or sleepy mood, and balance 16 hours, our mind is full of this one. Either about the past or about the future. Connected with this. So this should be brought back. It is already decided. You have decided with regard to a snake, you have decided either to fly or fight. Correct? Already decided. When snake comes, either you have to fight or flight. Similarly, Vairagyam also decided. What is the decision? Anityam asukam lokam. There is no point of discussion there. Understand? Electricity kills a person. Decision over. By Viveka Shakti or through some personal experience, either to oneself or to another people whom he has seen. So decision is over. Electricity means shock. World means dukkha. Possession, vertical possession, profession, position, body, mind means what? Handling them is difficult. Dukkham only. It is already over. So that decision should be brought back repeatedly. Dosha drishtya muhurmuhu. Because always there is a shobhana adhyasa in our mind. Shobhana adhyasa means romantic thoughts with regard to anything. Even after becoming old, this fellow will be seeing his young age photo. And in romantic thoughts with his body idea. There is a possibility you have crossed that age. Angam galidam, palidam tundam, dashana vihinam. So all body is like this. But still, he cannot accept it. He can remain in Shobhana Adhyasa. Shobhana Adhyasa means whimsical, romantic thoughts. That's why old people always start with in those days. There is no use in it. When you don't have teeth, all your teeth are gone, you think about 20 years back experience. How nicely I used to munch this seedai murukku. So it is a waste of time. So that dosha drishtya virajya, from where you are coming back again and again, coming back from Vishaya Vrata. Now you don't have sensory pleasure at all, but you had that pleasure. Na? That remembrance will carry you. So that has to be restrained. That restraining is called shama. So lakshyam niyatavastha. Are gone is gone. So he has divorced, suppose. After divorcing also, suppose if he thinks about his first day of marriage life, what is the use? Are first day nice only. After that only so many things happened. That is why you divorced also. After divorcing again thinking about the same first day. Why it failed? It could have been successful. Many people are successful. Like that. So this is useless thought. Na? Similarly, for a Vairagi, this is useless thought. Because Vairagi has already decided, he has gone through so many experience, Pariksha Lokan, Karma Chitan, Brahmano, Nirvedama, got lot of punches. After receiving lot of punches, he has decided that I am not going for boxing. But after decision also, that boxing samskara will not allow him to remain. So even if there is no opponent, he will be what? Like this. This is what mentally he is doing. Every one of us doing. So Shankaracharya says, you bring back the same mind means what? There is every possibility of going to towards the thing which you have already spitten. Already you have spitten that. You have vomited already. After vomiting, suppose you search for something, maybe some vitamin or some, imagine. This is what now happens in our life with regard to Vishayas. When I say a vomit example, you feel discomfortable. But this is what happens in our life with regard to thoughts. We have vomited already, but still we will be searching for anything good is there or not. I already vomited, yeah? Understand? So lakshyam niyatavastha, repeatedly bring. Shanai shanai ruparamed, buddhya dhridigrihitaya. Bhagavan Sri Krishna will tell. You have to bring back. Bring back means what? It will go automatically. Like Ramana Maharishi's experience, when he was in Ramana Ashrama, he was putting back the squirrels. There were children, children, small squirrels. So he takes them and puts them in the basket. He takes them and puts them in the basket. Devotees around him were seeing, what is this Bhagavan is doing? Useless action. Because they are not staying in that basket. Then, knowing their thought process, Bhagavan Ramana told, I am not doing any useless action. This is what happens in everybody's life. The squirrel knows that there is a danger called cat. But still, squirrel cannot stay in the basket. You allow the squirrel to go a little more, it will be afraid of. Therefore, only the basket is kept. Because that fellow is waiting. Cat wala is waiting. Similarly, all of you know, the world is waiting to devour you. Every sensory object has given you such a punch. That is why you have come here, asking for spiritual guidance. But after coming here also, you will be thinking what? Same idli dosa, same family members. This is what happens, he told. Because it does not get that type of maturity to hold itself with its safety. This is okay with squirrel. But with human mind also, this is possible. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is still an example. That camel eats bushes and gets pain and bleeding also, but still it cannot stop the Prakriti. So the Shamaha means what? Exercising control over our Vasana Shakti. Vasana is so powerful that it will not allow new vasana to enter so quickly in our life. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to say that fish woman who was sleeping in a house which belonged to flower selling mother. So since the house is full of flowers, it is also beautiful smell. But for fish woman, she did not get sleep at all because she was habituated to get sleep in fish stink, fish smell. So the flower smell disturbs her. Similarly, flowers smell disturbs us. Too much spirituality not good for us. Anyhow, half an hour we have spent today, okay, enough. Suddenly if we become what you are, no. Our mind will become deranged. The people also around us, they will tell, go slowly, too much not. Ati sarvatra varjaniya. They will not tell with regard to sensory objects. They will tell with regard to spiritual practice. Ati sarvatra varjaniya. Excessive things should be avoided. In what? In spiritual practices, in religious practices, people will tell. Leave the people. Our own mind will tell. Okay, half an hour today. 1000 japa over. Enough. But it doesn't say Ati Sarvatra Varjaniyaha when our mind and eyes are involved in seeing a TV program. 2 hours, 2.5 hours, this fellow sits and sees one match or a cinema. 2.5 hours. 10,000 japas he can do, Bhagavan Nama. There are so many people who will not get sleep without seeing one cinema, full cinema in a day. The average use of Indian citizens' internet use per day is 4 hours average. Imagine. Data, free data, 229 rupees only per month. 8 rupees or 9 rupees only. Are 9 rupees you are calculating, 2.5 hours gone. 2.5 hours per day means what? But this fellow, same fellow will do Sandhya Vandana or Gayatri, within 15-20 minutes he will finish. Because even though I decided to be a spiritual seeker, but still my emotional interest is where? In sensory objects. That is why there is a Purva Paksha that the qualification which is prescribed by the Advaita Vedantin is not possible in humanity. There is a Purva Paksha. There is a beautiful Vedantic text called Vichara Sagar. The Purva Paksha argues there. Where is the person who has this Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Shatka, Sampatti? It's all in the Upanishad. So everyone has to ask oneself, how much I am qualified in these traits. It's a Atma Shodhana, that's all. And as long as I am not qualified in this state, my goal is far away from me, so that I should not complain about others. Understand? I am not qualified, I will try to qualify, that's all. As long as I am not qualified, my identity about myself is not going to change. Understand? That is why Upanishad says, Na virado duscharitat, na shanto, na shanta manasa. First, the mind should be get away, freed from duscharita, adharma. But intellect wants, mind refuses. You got the point? IQ wants it. It is nice because hearing advertisement. Vedantic acharyas will be full of advertisement. You will be all at peace. Paripurnoham, program name. Paripurnoham, 5,000 rupees. 3 days you will become Paripurnaha if you attend that program. So naturally, at least full of advertisement. So Shamaha means you bring back this same mind which has gone to search something good in the vomited vomit. Understood? And bring back to its purity. Swalakshyam niyatavastha. That Vicharasagara Acharya Nishchaladasa Maharaj says, Prachina Vishaya Vasana Tyagapurvakam Vishayebhyaha Manasaha Pratinivartanam. Pratinivartanam, bringing back. Bringing back means what? Even after decision, it has gone already. It is like telling a cat, don't be a non-vegetarian. You know that story? In Rama Ashrama, Rama sadhus are there. They chant Bhagavan's name, Ramnam. So there is a cat. It used to disturb sadhus. So sadhus went and told that Kulapati, the head of the Mahanta Maharaj, it disturbs us during japa and prayer time. So please control him and give grace to him also. Instruct that cat, because you have that siddhi power. Please let the cat also get spiritual enlightenment. Like that, they recommended to avoid this problem. Then Kulapati Acharya called that cat, hey, come. Why you are roaming here and there? Somehow, because of your papa karma, you got this cat body. But because of your punya karma, you are living with us in satsanga. So better you make use of this birth and tell Ramana. Loudly you tell. Don't bother about your food. Stay in a place, in a room. Food will be given at the door in time. But it will be vegetarian only. So become a ahimsavadi. Then tell the Ramana. Food will be given. So the cat also agreed. Okay, Gurudev is telling. So chant Ramnam. So it started in its own voice. Loudly I should hear your Ramnam. Okay? So it agreed and went. And initially it started. Half an hour nicely everybody heard. Arey, cat also is telling Ramnam. Then suddenly sound is becoming less and less. Some of the brahmacharis observed that. They went and told the Kulapati, Acharya Maharaj. So Acharya Maharaj came. This cat is sitting like this. And murmuring. Little only sound comes. Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram. Hey, open the mouth and tell. Says, I will not tell. I will not open the mouth. Hey, open the mouth and tell. So when Acharya forced the cat opened the mouth. A rat is coming out of the mouth. Hey, when you caught this fellow? I was standing around now, as he told. But when rat went in front of me, I could not control myself. Because my prakriti is what? Catching the rat. Being a cat, my prakriti is catching the rat. Similarly, being a human being, my prakriti is what? Catching these rotten rats. We do always this. We fall from our own decisions. We fall from our own resolutions. New Year resolution. In New Year, they will write, whole year I will do like this, like this. Next day itself, that fellow will gone. Will not do that. So this is the nature of the mind. We have to accept the limitation of the emotional quotient of our mind, and we have to train itself. There is nothing to be ashamed of, because it is a universal problem. Even Arjuna, who could do tapasya and see Bhagavan Shiva face to face, that fellow says, Chanchalam hi manah Krishna, Pramadi balavadridam, Tasyaham nigraham manye, Vayoriva sudushkaram. Such a strong-willed person who can have control over his all his body, even Nidra. That is why he is called Budakeshaha. He can control his Nidra. We don't have that. Understand? Many days he can live without Nidra. Nidra means sleep. Without sleep he can fight, he can move many days. And we know our condition, Shivaratri, next day. That person says, Vayoreva Sudushkaram. It is like keeping Vayu in a container. Little only I am able to do, but Sanchalam hi Mana Krishna. Pramati Balavadridam. Understood? So Bhagavan says, Asamshayam Mahabhavu. Mano Durnigraham Chalam. That is the nature of the mind. Understood? Very good. It's all what you say is exactly truth. Arjuna, what you say is exactly correct. But human mind is so fickle. That is why all relationships are go on changing, you see. Why relationships are changing? The lifelong relationships also are changing. Why? Father-mother relationship. Initially, the child is so attached to that father or mother. Correct? Then slowly it distances it. Why? Fickle. Initial days, the child what the child wanted was available with the father or mother. So as even the requirements changes, the relationship also changes. Understood? So fickle it is. Asamshaya, no doubt. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena grihyate. You can handle it, more or less. Absolute handling of mind is not possible even for jnanis. No jnani can say, I have conquered my krodha. No jnani can say. Generally, all jnanis get krodha. All jnanis. But the krodha has loka sangraham. Sanakadi rishis. By srishti they are jnanis. You need not bother about people who have practiced spiritual austerities and got knowledge. Nah. During srishti itself, by birth, they are jnanis. They got krodha, that too in Vaikunta. And for small mistake of Dwarapalakas, which was the cause for 4 avatars of the Lord. Their krodha has meaning. But normal person's krodha doesn't have meaning. So jnanis also will not say that I will not get krodha. Even Bhagavan cannot say when he assumes human body, even Bhagavan cannot say I will not get krodha. Understood? But niyatatma, jitendriyaha, niyatatma. About Bhagavan Rama, Valmiki Rishi says. Krodhagni sadrishe loke. Pralaya will come if he gets krodha. But niyatatma. Generally he doesn't get krodha. Understand? That means what? He uses that krodha. He is not overpowered by the krodha. But our case is, we are overpowered by our whims and fancies, by our anger. So, prachina vishaya vasana is there. That has to be given up. Initially you have given up the vishayas. Now you are giving up vishaya vasana. Understood? Now, giving up vishaya is called vairagyam. And giving up vishaya vasana is called shama. Next stage. I told you, one will lead to another. Viveka will naturally lead to vairagya. Vairagyam will naturally lead to shamaha. When Viveka Shakti rises, natural consequence will be what? I don't need this. Like balded Wala's Viveka Shakti in rejecting the shampoo bottle. But after rejecting the shampoo bottle also, seeing a person with lot of curly hair, this fellow can have a fancy. How nice it would have been if I have curly hair, and how I can maintain it by this shampoo. Like that, shampoo dhyanam is possible. After giving up also. The shampoo dhyanam also has to be given up. That's called shampoo. So, muhurmuhu prativartanam vishayebhyaha manasa. Mind will go automatically, you bring back automatically. It is like the nature of the water flows down, but nature of the Surya is sucking up the water. Understood? All waters reaches where? Ocean. So Surya, what it does? All right, you go down, I will suck you up. Again pour in the clouds. Again pour in the bhumi. This is the cycle. So, Vishaya Vasana has to be given up because Vishaya Vasana is very, very strong. And after giving up, what should I do? Swalakshye niyatavastha. It is not suppression, it is called sublimation. Shamaha is not, the Shamaha they translate as mind control. It is not control, it is giving direction. You bring back the mind from the Vishaya Vasana or Vishayas and put that mind in another pursuit. Simply you bring back and keep quiet means it will not keep quiet. It will not keep quiet. So allowing the mind to do another thing which will be a conducive one in our spiritual. That's called Shamaha. So Shamaha expresses in our life, in our day-to-day life as do's and don'ts. Niyama and Yama. At the thought level. Shamaha is at the thought level, Damaha is at the action level. That is the difference. Shamaha is at the mind level and Damaha is at the sensory level. So if the mind is with ahimsa, if the mind is with brahmacharya, if the mind is with aparigraha, if the mind is with satya, if the mind is with astheya, these are all called Yamaha. So Shamaha expresses in our life, in our day-to-day life as ahimsa, satyam, brahmacharyam, aparigraham, astheya. So the thought process will be what? It belongs to them, I have nothing to do with them. That is called astheya, don't stealing even by thought process. People come to ashramas and temples, pluck the flowers without permission. And if you ask them why you are doing, no, I am going to offer it to Lord. Arey, that you have to bring from your place, not from my place. Understood? So astheya, it belongs to somebody else. Like that, with regard to everything in our life, we steal mentally, we lie mentally, we become impure mentally, we become violent mentally. So these should be avoided. That practice is called Shama. After avoiding these things, the mind will be in what? In niyama. Shaucham, santoshaha, tapaha, swadhyayaha, ishara pranida. Each topic will have 1 hour explanation. We can have, but it is basic. Therefore, I am leaving it. So, Shamaha, a mind with Shamaha will avoid all these negative things and will pursue all these positive things. A mind with Shamaha will not be a violent mind, will not be a sensualistic mind. It will have brahmacharya, thought brahmacharya. A sensualist mind, always in sensory pleasures. No brahmacharya thought-wise. That's why all cinema actors and actors are famous, because this fellow is always enjoying them through mind. Understand? Heroines are becoming famous means what? Fans. He become fan. He become fan means what? This fellow is mentally enjoying that form, that voice. Understood? That is called divide of brahmacharya. Thought-wise, you enjoy somebody's form, somebody's voice, somebody's touch, thought-wise. Not actual-wise, thought-wise. So that also is not there in this person's life. If somebody scolds him or does any apamana, immediately there is a urge in everybody's mind to retaliate, to be violent, at least to express through some words or through eyesight something. That also is not there, because he practices ahimsa. He considers every opposite gender as mother or father or Bhagavan's form. That is called brahmacharya. And he allows the thing which is factual in his mind. And when he speaks only that. It's called satyam. Or javam it is called. Because we speak so many times within ourselves, Lot of lies we tell to ourselves. Lot of lies we tell to ourselves, not to others. Telling lie to others is problem with regard to damaha. It is expression. I am talking not about expression. I am talking about thought process before expression. So thought-wise I am non-violent. Thought-wise I am pure, not sensualist. Thought-wise I am not untruthful. I am truthful. Thought-wise I am not stealing. Thought-wise I don't want to be a person with possession, lot of possession. Now you tell how many people can qualify. So Vedanta says, as long as you have this awareness, don't blame me that after studying Upanishad, I did not get knowledge. Correct? Pramanam will work only if Pramata is available. If Pramata is not available with these qualities, Prameyam cannot be revealed. Understood? So don't blame me, Shastra. People blame Shastra. So Ravana's life, we find that people blame him. Such a scholarly person. Still this fellow has this type of problems. Like, what to do? It is not the fault of the Shastra. It is the fault of the person who mishandled that Shastra. Such a scholarly person, he has stooped down to this level. So they blame the scholarship. Scholarship should not be blamed. Knowledge cannot be blamed, nor the scriptures can be blamed. So the mind has to be a qualified one for Shastra to work. So we find that the prescription itself is very deep. Why I am going through very deep with regard to qualification, then only we will have humility in our life. Please understand. We will never pass judgments on others when we find or when we hear somebody has fallen from the idea. Because we know it is very difficult. We never consider ourselves as a perfect one and blame others. Shurasya dhara nishita dhurathyaya. The ignorant fellow alone will criticize the spiritual seeker who has fallen. Suppose he come to know that there is a monk who has fallen from the ideal. Other genuine spiritual seekers and monks, what they will think? It is very natural. If so far he has not fallen, that is the grace of the Lord. So they will not criticize. The ordinary fellow who is succumbed to all sensory things, so he will put the mud. That's why Swami Vivekananda used to say, a fallen monk is much, much, much greater than the best householder in the creation. A fallen monk, a fallen spiritual seeker is greater than best householder in the creation. Then the disciple asks, how is it? Yes, because he has found out the enemy and he waged war against that enemy called Kama Krodha. Of course, he could not withstand that. So he has fallen. The householders who are towards these sensory pleasures, who consider Kavo Piyo Majakaro, this alone as the life goal, enjoyment as the life goal, then they have not yet found out their enemy yet. Who is our enemy? Our own sensory vasanas. Now you understand. So where is the opportunity for us to criticize others and waste our time? Where is the opportunity for us, need for us to be judgmental? You understood? When you live with sadhus only, you will understand. Sadhus are never judgmental. Whole world was judgmental with regard to Ahalya. Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra Prabhu and Vishwamitra ji both were not judgmental with regard to Ahalya. While introducing Ahalya, Vishwamitra ji says, Tarayena Mahabhagam Ahalyam. Mahabhagyavati Ahalya, please do Uddharana. Redeem her. Who is she? Not Mahapapi. Mahabhagyavati. Understood? So that is the attitude of a spiritual seeker. That when I myself doesn't have the required spiritual traits in my mind, what to talk about others? So I will never be judgmental. I will be accommodative. With regard to myself, my character, I will be very, very strict. And with regard to others, judging others, with regard to treating others, I will be very generous. So Ramji practiced this. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. With regard to himself, he is Raghukula Vamshi. Walk means gone. Once I told. No compromise with regard to my discipline. With regard to treating others, I will be very accommodative, loving, appreciative. Understood? This is the attitude of a spiritual seeker who has Shamaha. Now you understand the level of Shama. They simply say Shama means mind control. After controlling mind, what you will do? Please tell. Shamaha expresses in our life as Daya. Daya towards others. Others' weaknesses. Forgiving. Okay, it's okay. It's difficult, I also know, because I have gone through that. I have gone through that. That is why Bhagavan always does like this. As long as you are trying, I have my Abhaya Astha. Any time, 1,000 times he fail, no problem. As long as you are trying. Because I know that you are going to fail. I know that. But your Lakshya will not allow to fall there itself. So Swami Vivekananda Maharaj used to say, if a person with aim, goal in life, if he does 500 mistakes, a person without goal in life will do 50,000 mistakes. Understood? So the Lakshya, one fine morning or one fine day, I will find myself completely free from all these fetters, all these bondages which are in the form of Kama, Krodha, Moha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya. And it is not going to be a linear process, as though you are climbing and climbing. It is ladder snake game. That's why in our culture, this game is kept, Paramapadam. The game also is called what? Paramapadam. The dice game, Paramapadam it is called. You try to get that number, it may come, may not come, excess come, less come. All four opportunities are there. Correct? What do you thought may come? What do you thought may not come? Less come, more come. And you try to climb the ladder and you are fallen in a snake. One big snake is there. That you have to imagine that. Board. Snake, ladder, snake, board. One big snake will be there. The snake mouth will be Krodha, Krodha. Krodha, I still remember. If you fall in Krodha, the mouth of the Krodha, you will fall in the one, he will come, starting point it will come. Then another snake, Kama. Another snake, jealous. Another snake, Lobha, like that. I still remember. And the ladder will be named what? Ahimsa, Satyam, like that. They will name that ladder. Nowadays, these all the materialistic fellows don't name that. But in olden days, these names are there. For every ladder, there is a name. For every snake, there is a name. Then that when the end will be Paramapadam, Vishnu will be there. Vaikuntha Padi will be sitting there. And to get that Vaikuntha Padi, very difficult. Because you have to cross again 7 doors there also, 7 doors are there. So all our game, entertainment also with this spiritual. So the Shama, the mind with Shama expresses itself in day-to-day activities with Yamaha and Niyamaha. It is a contented mind. It's a pure mind with clean thoughts. No prejudices. It's a pure mind, clean mind. It's a contented mind. Enough. Whatever I have, that is enough. And it is a austere mind. When you go to buffets, you have to observe. Buffet, you know buffet? There will be for 10, 15 items. This fellow will be given one plate. Suppose if he likes certain items, he will be putting levels. That time you know that how much greediness you have. Because you can measure your greediness when you are allowed to take. In nature, in life, many things you are not allowed to take. Understand? The very system rejects. If you are allowed to take, then you find the level of your greediness. Why we eat only 4 idlis? Because we are not allowed to take. System rejects. We are allowed to take. Only Bhagavan knows what is our condition. I remember one cinema. One fellow was entering a place where full of treasures are there. So he was given one mantra. After going that, he has to chant that mantra, then only he can come out. So he has by-hearted that mantra and he used that mantra to open. So it opened. And when he went, he saw full of treasures and golden coins. And so he was carried away by his lobha, that is greediness. So he started gathering all those things and packed in a bag and wanted to come back. Forgot that mantra. I think Allah ka kasam, Abu ka kusam, tirandid sise, like that he has to tell. Allah ka kasam means in the name of the Lord. Kasam means I make a promise in the name of the Lord. Abu ka kusam, tirandid sise, this fellow God. Tirandidungal. Remember that? I still remember. So that is the mind with lobha. How many times we are entering in one place and carried away by that lobha and caught by that lobha. We go for something to touch only, but once we touch it, we are carried away by its grandeur. Then we get lobha, then we are caught. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to say that rat is given a small portion of sugar or something eatable. So it thinks that I will finish this and finish the entire godon. When it ventures to finish the entire godon, the rat is caught. Here there is a trap. Similarly, our mind also trapped. So how to avoid this? Keep the mind in Swadhyaya and Ishvara Pranidhana. Understood? Niyama, first 3 things, tapas, shanti, shaucha. Very important. It should be an austere mind. It should be a tranquil mind, peaceful mind. Not restless one. There must be shaucha, pure mind. That mind will naturally go towards Shastra Vichara or Ishvara Pranidhana. The mind which is naturally inclined towards the prayers, japas, and the Shastra Adhyayana is the mind which has Shamaha. Now you understood? Now this is the scale to measure our mind, not others' mind. You cannot measure others' mind. You have to ask yourself whether the mind has Satyam, Ahimsa, Brahmacharyam, Asteyam, Aparigrah. Whether the mind has shaucham, santoshaha. So whether it is complaining or is at peace. Our Mara used to say, go on murmuring, munumunukpan, eppame munumunukpan. Always complaining mind. Complaining mind is called atushti mind. Here tushtihi, santoshaha, truptihi. Understood? So whether the mind is with satisfaction, whether it has purity, whether it is with austerity, without lobha. Austerity means without lobha. Please understand. Always austerity means what? Freedom from lobha is called austerity. That is, I myself willfully allow to be deprived of. 40 idlis are there. I allow others to eat and be happy with their eating. That's called austere. Deprivation is not austerity. Tyaga. I know that I can have it and I have the right also, capacity also. Till I allow others to get those things. I am the last person. A sensualist will be first person. Those who give prasada will be last person to eat. So in bhaktas also, naturally they will come and serve. They will not sit and eat. In a gathering also. You can see all these people. Varieties are there. They will serve. Then they will be happy to see people eating Lord's prasada. Then if it is there are some intelligent people. Keep on bucket and serve. That is in religious community itself, we can find out all these things. All are good only. But have these all types of problems. Whether we understand others' mind or not, we have to understand our mind. Whether I keep the bucket and serve. And there are some people who keep little with them. Okay, then only they will serve everything. We need not be ashamed of. Because it is our birthright. We have brought all those things. Okay, it is in this Srishti. Our work is what? Be aware of it. Handle it. The handling can never be absolute handling. Any time you can fall. Accept it. But this is a hobby for entire life. Not a great what you call war. If you consider it as a war, you are a failure. It is like handling a dog in your house. Sometimes it will be quiet. Sometimes it will be cajoling. Sometimes it will be barking. Like that mind of. But if you don't train it or don't control it, what will be? It will go on doing everything, whatever it wants to do. Even after training, it does what it wants. Okay. House dog does what it wants, even after training, but with restriction. If you don't train it, if you don't control it, what will do? It will do what it wants, as a street dog does. What is the difference between street dog and house dog? House dog knows where is the toilet, Where is its own restroom, house dog knows. Otherwise, it knows that. And what is the food time, it knows. What is the food, it knows. Everything is fixed, it knows. The area of strolling, going here and there, it will be same room only. Room to hall, hall to kitchen, kitchen to same room. But street dog, 5 kilometers also, no problem. Difference between street dog and a home dog. But both are dog. Understood? So as long as the person is ignorant about himself, his mind is a dog only. But if he is a spiritual seeker, even though he is ignorant, if he is a spiritual seeker, his mind will be a home dog. But dog only. Understood? So the shamaha means you have control to handle it, not to control it, suppress it. You cannot suppress it. This is the difference between Yoga Shastram and Vedanta Shastram. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha they call. You shut down the mind. You cannot shut down the mind. How many years you will shut down? After shutting down, what you will do? With the same mind only you have to handle your neighbor, your friend, your wife or children. That's why people, when they are in puja, they are very fine and nice. When they come out, only Rakshasas come out. This is the problem. So every moment of my life is governed by these principles of niyama and yama. Understand? Every moment of my life is governed by viveka and vairagya. A mind which is governed by viveka and vairagya and yama and niyama, 1 plus 1 plus 5 plus 5, 12 is called a mind with shama. Understood? So it is a lifelong hobby, not struggle. How you view your things, that depends upon your maturity. It is an hobby. It is an hobby. To handling it is a hobby. Hobby means what? It has to be done, but decided by me, like getting up early in the morning. So many people get depression and give up that attempt also. 1 week they will try. So 1 week they fail. So they get depression and give up that attempt. No, we should never give up that attempt. I will go and try. 5 years also no problem, but I will be trying. A handled mind will be with reduced FIR. My Acharya used to say. FIR, frequency, intensity and recovery period. Reduced FIR. Suppose if it is an angry mind, if it is handled properly, the frequency of getting anger will be less. In those days it was daily twice, now 2 weeks once. Intensity. When it gets anger, what happened doesn't know in those days. Now, at least it knows. Hands are shivering. When our Rakshasas open the mouth, the fire comes. Similarly, now from our mouth also, fire comes. He fired. You know that proverb in English. That means he scolded. Mark, fire. That's why the Thiruvalluvar says, Teenal suttapun ullarum arade navinal suttavadu. You can burn a person by speaking. That's what in imagery, that from Rakshasa's mouth fire is coming. So that intensity is reduced. Then recovery period. For some people it will take 1 year, 2 years. Some people 20 years also they will not forget that fight, Even after 20 years they will remember. That day you told that. Arey, 20 years, how many statements you would have heard? In South Tamil Nadu you can see. Generation after generation that enmity continues, Ungappa, Yangappa, Savachar, Yangappa, Ungappa, Savat. Ipriya poine irukran. All the fights, family fights. Why? Because of this uncontrolled mind. So a controlled mind will have reduced FIR. A controlled mind knows where is the trigger zone. Each one will have trigger zone. You trigger that zone, that fellow is gone. Each one of us have that trigger zone. Once somebody touches that trigger zone, gone. We lose control over ourselves. So we know that. So we avoid it. And the purpose of all this control is what? Making the mind to go to Shastra. That's all. Nothing else. Make it available to know about Satyam. Make it available to think about Satyam. Make it available to teach and talk. Asutte amrita kale Vedanta chintaya kalam. That mind which is available for. That's why after describing Asurik Sampat and Daivi Sampat, Bhagavan says to Arjuna, don't worry, you don't have Asuri Sampat, you have Daivi Sampat. Then Arjuna thinks, Arey, how is it? Because your mind is available for my teaching. A mind which is available for Vedantic teaching has a potentiality to be a divine mind. Whether my mind is divine or not, what? At least to some extent, 1.5 hours, I can sit without thinking about my enemy, without thinking about my whims and fancies. I could sit available. So there is a possibility and potentiality. I will increase the quality and quantity of this divine quality. Understood? So it's a lifelong process. Now you understand? It is called upasana. It is called yama niyama. It is called dharma anushtanam. Varieties of name. Same Shama only is called Upasana. You think about the divine thing. You have your mind has Yama and Niyama, expresses itself through Yama and Niyama and through Dharma Anushtana. So, next quality of the mind, the qualified mind will be Tamaha. We will see in the next class. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om.
देवी सुरेश्वरी भगवती गंगे त्रिभुवनतारिणी तरल तरंगे शंकर मौलिनी वासिनी विमले मम मन्दिरास्ता तव पद कमले भागीरथी सुखदायिनी मातः तव जल महिमा निगमे ख्यातः नाहं जाने तव महिमानं त्राहि कृपामयि मामज्ञानम् हरिपद पाठ्य तरंगिनी गंगे हिमविधो मुक्ता धवल तरंगे दूरीकुरु मम दुष्कृति भारं कुरु कृपया भवसागर पारम् तव जलममलं येन नितीतं परमपदं खलु तेन गृहीतं मातर्गङ्गे त्वयि यो भक्तः किल तं द्रष्टुं नयमशक्तः पतितोद्धारिणि जानवी गङ्गे खण्डितगिरिवरमण्डितभङ्गे भीष्मजननि खलु मुनिवरकन्ये पतितनिवारिणि त्रिभुवनधन्ये कल्पलतामिव फलदां लोके प्रणवति यस्त्वां न पतति शोके पारावारविहारिणि गङ्गे विबुधवधूकृततरलापाङ्गे तव कृपया स्रोतस्नातः पुनरपि जठरे सोऽपि न जातः नरकनिवारिणि जानवी गङ्गे कलुषविनाशिनि महिमोत्तुङ्गे परिलसगङ्गे पुण्यतरङ्गे जय जय जानवी करुणापाङ्गे इन्द्रमुकुटमणिराजितचरणे सुखदे शुभदे सेवकचरणे रोगं शोकं पापं तापं हर मे भगवति कुमति कलापं त्रिभुवनसारे वसुधाहारे ममसि गतिर्मम खलु संसारे तारकानन्दे परमानन्दे कुरु मयि करुणा कातरवन्द्ये तव तटनिकटे यस्य निवासः खलु वैकुण्ठे तस्य निवासः वरनिहनीरे कवठो मीनः किंवादीरे सरतः क्षीणः अथ गम्यूतौ श्वपचोदीनो न पुनर्दूरे नृपतिकुलीनः भुवनेश्वरि पुण्ये धन्ये देवी द्रवमयि मुनिवरकन्ये गङ्गास्तवमिमं अमलं नृत्यं पठति नरो यजयति सत्यम् येषां हृदये गङ्गा भक्तिः तेषां भवति सदा सुखमुक्तिः मधुरमनोहर पन्थनिकारिः परमानन्दकरितललिताभिः गङ्गास्तोत्रमिदं भवसारं वाञ्छितफलदं विदितमुदारं शङ्करसेवक शङ्कररचितं पठतु च विषयीदमिति समाप्तं शङ्करसेवक शङ्कररचितं पठतु च विषयीदमिति